I wanted to ask this, and I don't know if you can text Fife to see if maybe we can get a phone call from him today or not. But I'm very curious to know what hockey people out there feel like we learned from last night's game, because I have a certain, like I said, I didn't see the first three periods. I know Boston went up 2-0. I know Chicago got it to 2-1. Then I know Boston scored a power play goal to make it 3-1. Then I know Chicago fought their way back and tied the game at 3-3 to get it to overtime. Then I know in the 3 overtimes what I truly saw, because I had the opportunity to watch all 20 minutes of the first 2 overtimes and the half of the third overtime. I mean, they were like 6 minutes away or something like that from the longest game ever in Stanley Cup history. Like, that was it. Like, they were only a couple minutes away from that. But, like, for me, like, when I watched it, and maybe you guys agree or disagree, knowing that Boston was up 2-0 in regulation, from what I saw in overtime, I felt like Chicago looked like the better team. And I don't know if you guys saw that or you disagree or you agree, but I felt like Chicago, for the most part, was controlling the pace, was controlling the momentum of the game. They had more swings go their way. I felt like they kept more pressure on the Bruins goalie than Crawford was dealing with in Chicago's net. I mean, from my point of view, that's what I was seeing. So I don't know if you guys saw the same thing or maybe it was just from my perspective.
Well, I get what you're saying because, like I said, I thought Tuchel just looked great last night at times. But I think, because I thought he looked great last night, I can agree. It did seem like he was blocking a lot more shots than Crawford really had come his way.
59 to 51.
Oh, okay. So really not that much, but
not that much more. 59,
still more.
51.
So, I mean, obviously it was in, the Boston zone a lot more than it was in Crawford's zone. So, yeah, I can give you that point, definitely.
I mean, I saw you shake your head when I was saying it. I mean, do you feel like Boston looked better or you felt like they looked pretty even?
I thought they looked pretty even. It looked like two tough teams. I think Chicago's offense may be slightly better, but I think Boston's defense is slightly overall better. I mean, I look at it.
You got a ton of stars on both sides, one way or another.
And Rask has really played probably the best of any goaltender throughout the playoffs.
Absolutely. I can agree with that.
And, yeah, 3 overtimes, 5th longest game in NHL Finals history. Pretty crazy. And, I mean, I think you're going to see a lot more of this all series long.
Well, what is this going in? Wasn't this could be wrong, wasn't this the first original 6 Stanley Cup Finals in history?
I believe so.
Yeah, I thought I heard
Well, it's the first one in the salary cap era.
It's modern era.
Yeah, so like the last 20 years.
Yeah, something like 85 or something like that. It was when they made it turn into what he said, the modern era. Mm-hmm. And this is the first time since then that you have 2 original 6 teams playing each other in the Stanley Cup. And I'll tell you one thing. If there's one thing I've picked up from hockey fans, they freaking love the fact that this is an original 6 matchup. Mm-hmm. If there's one thing I picked up, and I was glued to my TV in those overtimes last night. I was glued. These guys were nonstop. Credit to them because I felt like I would have fallen over. I mean, these guys had to be freaking shocked.
Well, you had to wonder if it went any longer. I don't know the announcer's name, but he's the voice on, I guess, every playoff game that's been on NBC this season. If it went any longer, I really thought he was going to have a stroke. Right?
Yeah, I thought they were all going to go. I was shocked. He's trying to call in?
He's trying, but apparently he thinks the phone lines are down.
That would make sense. To be completely honest with you, at this point, that would make sense.
I told him to try one more time, so we'll see if it comes through.
You think it would work if he just tried calling one of our phones and we put it on speaker?
Wait, we could hook up an auxiliary cord, but I don't know how to do that, and I don't know what that would sound like.
I'm saying just put it on speaker, hold it up like this. That wouldn't work?
No, that would sound. I don't even want to know what that would sound like.
Okay.
I don't.
He says it's a no-go.
Well, thanks for trying, Fife. We appreciate it, man. We really do. Well, we were talking about. Yeah, I agree with one thing Eric just said was the fact that when you watch these two teams play, we are looking like we are set up for one hell of a series.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's freaking awesome. This is actually Boston's first loss since May 23rd. They have not lost a game since May 23rd, where they lost 4-3 to the Rangers in overtime.
Well, they did sweep the Penguins, so that is true. I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
But, I mean, you're talking this team, I know the Bruins were the losing end of the side, but this is a triple overtime game. I feel like once you get to that point, it's almost luck. Hence, you saw the game-winning goal last night. It's almost luck that gets you, a win once you reach a triple overtime. But, like, I'm looking back on this, and, we need to remember this team was down 3-0 in Game 7 in the first round. Scored 3 goals to tie it up. Go to overtime and win to advance against the Rangers. And since that win, this is only their second loss. They're playing ridiculous hockey. They've only given up more than 1 goal twice if you don't include last night.
Interesting stat, though. The Bruins are the 3rd team to blow a multi-goal lead and lose Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Each of the previous 2 losers went on to lose the series. That was the Oilers back in 2006. They lost in 7. And the Red Wings back in 1956. And they lost in 5.
2006.
2006.
Oilers made it?
Oilers, 2006.
Okay.
Fife is in our chat room. He likes Boston. I mean, I don't know who I like. But
I almost feel like all season the Blackhawks have kind of been the quote-unquote best team in the league, but in these playoffs I feel like they've almost been, I don't know if toying with the opposition is the right phrase, but, they let Detroit into it. They had to push that one to a Game 7. Then they came on. Last night they were down 3-1, and then they came on late. I think when you look at the 2 rosters, the Blackhawks might have a little bit of the talent edge. Boston's proved the whole playoffs, basically, that they've, been kind of underrated. I know everyone thought the Penguins are going to wind up beating them, so this is going to be a very tough series. I'll still give the Blackhawks a slight edge. But I think one way or another, it's definitely going to 7 games.
for the sake of sports, I hope it does.
I hope every game goes triple overtime.
Yeah, I mean,
there's not. I'll tell you what, it is exciting
right now,
hockey to watch overtime hockey because
I can't stay up till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning every night watching them.
That was the roughest part.
Yeah.
I'm like,
no, that
like,
was the beauty.
It's like 12:45. I'm like, well, you guys just scored.
That was the beauty. That's why I explained to Dave on the ride down. It was awesome because during intermissions, I was able to flip over to the Yankee game because they came on at 10-10 against the Oakland. Now they lost the game, but I was able to flip back and forth, so I didn't miss any of the hockey. But I was able to catch some of the Yankee game. It was a win-win for me last night.
All I know is between that and the rain, I was very close to saying, "See you guys next week," but I still came in. That was long, man.
It was. Yeah. But you know what? Think about it. It was long for us, and we're just sitting there watching. These guys are actually out there playing. Well, what a game, though, man. And seriously,
thank God they get a day off between games.
Let's be serious here. I really hope every single game is like this. Now, I'm sure the players would prefer to avoid numerous triple overtime games. But from an entertainment standpoint, you can't beat a golden goal scenario. You just can't. You're talking a situation where, just like last night, a little bounce this way or a little bounce that way, and there's your W for the Stanley Cup. Like, not just a win. No, for the Stanley Cup. These guys are going to get their names etched on that beautiful trophy. I think the Cup is a gorgeous trophy. I think I love that.
And I think with both of them, remember, both these teams have won championships within the last 4 years, so you know they still got the taste in their mouth of it, and they both know what it's like to be on that promised land. So they're both going to fight with everything they have.
Yeah. No question about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the only downer right now is that we can't have Fife calling. That sucks.
It does, because we don't even know what's wrong with the phone lines.
Yeah.
Well, from what you guys say, no disrespect, but we should be lucky we have any feed it all today, right? From what
Yes.
you guys said, yes.
Between yesterday and the weather that's outside right now, we're quite happy that we're even on air.
Yeah.
Fife asked if we saw how many chances Boston had in OT than Chicago. I mean, look, I think both teams had a hell of a shot. I think Boston's chances were cleaner, but I felt like both teams had a pretty equal amount of opportunities
Couple
to
off
score.
the post too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that
Boston had one right off the post, and that's what I mean. I feel like Boston had some cleaner opportunities where you saw Chicago players smacking the puck away from the net while it was in midair, because Crawford's on the ground, he has no stick. You see Kane in net trying to block shots. I mean, I will agree that I felt Boston had some cleaner opportunities.
There were a couple times in the overtime periods where, the Blackhawks were taking these slap shots, and Rask would just catch it. You just saw the look on his face. You shall not pass. I still can't believe he's the one who gave up the goal. But it was only because there were 17 people standing in front of him, and it hit off of 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That game-winning goal was sick. It really was.